So you've got the perfect caravan, right? But that's only half the battle. Making sure your tow vehicle is properly set up is the key for safe and stress-free travels. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the mods we've made to our Ford Ranger and why we made them. Don't get me wrong, the Ranger is a fantastic tow vehicle, but it needed a few tweaks to be perfect for towing our hotel on wheels, Navarack. Right, we're going to be covering proper reverse camera for the Caravan, battery power to the van, improved trailer plug mount, that's important, rear airbags for improved handling, e-bike mounts, and finally Starlink on the roof. So if you're new here, we are Kiwi Wanderers. I'm Greg and this is Sandy, and we are full-time in our lovely Jayco Silverline. We've been on the road for 4 years, loving it, should have done it sooner. We make these vids to share RV stuff and love doing them, so please, if you have some cool mods you've made to your tow vehicle, please share them for everyone in the comments below. Now some of these mods are essential and some are just, you know, nice to have. So yeah, let's dive in. Now I've already made a video highlighting all the factory towing features of the Ranger, but here are the modifications we made so we could tow our Caravan. First up, the reversing camera. In our previous ute, was a Ranger as well, an older version, we had a standard mirror mount screen, which was great, but this time I decided to use the high resolution screen in the Ranger already. I purchased a kit from Advanced ICE in Australia and installed their module, which interrupts the signal to the Ford screen. Here's how we get our reverse camera going. This is, you just push the enter button there, hold it for a bit, and there it comes. There's a couple of different options at that size, or you can have it up the top. Normally have it down the bottom there, and we normally have this running showing us directions, and you can resize it. You resize it's perfect size, which is great. And if you want to play around with any of the controls of the ute, you can do that, and then once you've finished, it goes back to normal. As you can see, very nice crystal clear view using the standard Jayco camera. And of course, if we go into reverse, it brings up the cameras from the Caravan. This here is because I've disconnected the front camera, a bit silly, and this little white bit's not normally there, it's our slide out, and this is obviously the second camera pointing straight down, so you can see just exactly where you're backing to. And then we've got the ute covered here, so pretty good. If I crash this ute, there's really no excuse, is there? The quality and size are much better than the small reverse screen. Mind you, Sandy has told me that size isn't important. The mod isn't cheap and it's a bit gnarly to install, but in my opinion, you either have to do something like this or get yourself some extendable mirrors, which are also quite pricey. Number 2, powering up the van. So our van needs 2 power connections from the tow vehicle, one to power the fridge, since it's a 3-way and the gas is off while we're travelling, and the second goes to the J-Hub, which charges the Caravan batteries. Jayco specify 30 amps for both of these connections. Power runs from the batteries into these relays via a 30 amp fuse. The whole thing only becomes live when the Ranger's key is on. I didn't opt for a DC-DC charger because I have a good amount of solar on the roof. Of course, I've done a video about that. I'll put a link up there. But if you want to maximise charging power for your vehicle, a DC-DC charger is definitely the way to go. Wiring up my setup was pretty easy. The biggest trick was getting an ignition feed from inside the cab to turn these relays on and off. I ran the leads alongside the factory wiring loom down the inside of the chassis. The only other thing I did was got Ford to disconnect the smart alternator, or deactivate the smart alternator. This means the alternator just works like a normal car and doesn't regulate it on load, regulate the current on load. Much better for when you've got the trailer connected. Now I realised I was going to have a lot of stuff hanging out the back, so we needed a proper way to mount it. It's very important to have everything mounted correctly, as a good percentage of trailer problems are because a lead is falling out while driving. Advanced ICEs also makes a bracket. I'm pretty sure there's lots of people who do it, especially for the Ranger, which works well and is easy to fit. The only other thing I did here was made sure all my Anderson plugs are sealed. In my experience in the motor trade, dirty connections are very, very common, so sealing them up is a good thing. Rear airbags. So I held off on doing this because it's a major investment, probably in the 2 to 3k mark once it's all fitted and certified. I've already done a video about fitting these airbags and it was pretty straightforward. The tow ball weight makes the rear of the Ranger drop down quite a bit, which definitely affects how it rides and handles. While you can improve the towing ride by upgrading the springs on the rear of the Ranger, the ride suffers when you don't have the van on. So inflating the airbags becomes part of my launch procedure. It's easy to do, and I just deflate them once the Caravan's disconnected. E-bike mounts. So not everybody's going to need these. Not everybody has e-bikes. This one is definitely optional. We could mount our bikes on the back of the van, but I'm sure I wouldn't feel that comfortable leaving the van with them on the back, because I hear so much about them getting stolen. So we opted for this storing the bikes in the back of the van, out of sight, out of mind. It's not without its drama though, as the back of the ute is very full and getting stuff out can sometimes be a bit of a drama. Anyway, we take the front wheels off our bikes, use these mounts, they have been great. I've angled one slightly to get the handlebars to miss each other, so there you go, it's bikes. Finally, this is another nice to have. Starlink is a real great bit of kit and I love it. We fitted it to our ute instead of our van for 2 reasons. Number one, I work online, and when we're travelling with or without the van, we have perfect, fast, reliable internet wherever we are. And of course, voice over IP, we can make a call anywhere, anytime. Number 2 reason was I wanted internet not to be a drain on our Caravan batteries. We only have 200 amp hours of storage. Next Caravan will have a bit more than that, definitely. And in the winter, every reduction we can make helps. So the ute has a battery and solar panels just to keep the Starlink up and running. It works well. I've done a video on the Starlink setup, so have a look at that if you're interested. And if you're signing up for Starlink, use this link. Either scan the QR code or the link in the description. You get a month free, and we get a month free as well. So great. So there you have it. Ranger has a lot of great towing features, but you still need to do a few mods just to make it perfect and safe. If you have any other suggestions for the Ford Ranger or any other vehicles, please leave the comments below. Really, really interested to share the information with everyone. Oh, and another thing, we're going to the NZMCA Caravan show in Hamilton later in the month. So we'll see you there. Thanks for watching.
Tonight we're running on the right track.